I'm preparing to do a little comic book pressing and cleaning here, but most times, you got to be very careful. You got to kind of do it in a direction that won't tear the paper. If you notice a rip on the page, or a little crease on the paper or the page, I should say, you definitely want to be mindful of that, because that could really mess it up even more. And unfortunately, it does happen. So you just got to be very, very careful. And not one method works all the time. So you gotta just try each method to see what works. Here's the electric eraser. You press this button and it spins the electric eraser. Now you gotta be also conscious of the direction that it's spinning. In this case, if you're looking straight on, it's spinning counterclockwise. So you want to consider that when the direction it's going to erase on the page. Again, you don't want to tear the page or anything. You just got to be conscious of all of the above. Now it's going counterclockwise, which is this way, right? So I want the eraser to work going out the page, if that makes sense, out or outside of the line. Now, if I was to hold it like this, the eraser would be going this way, like this, right? Which would bring the page in. I don't want it to work that way. I want the eraser to work out towards the page, or the edge of the page, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and work on some of this. And you want to be very delicate, don't be don't be overzealous. Just take your time. Take your time. And just in case you guys are curious as to which book I'm working on, this is the first appearance of Falcon in Captain America 117. I'm just going to keep on cleaning the edge here. And also, another thing you want to be conscious of is either you can work with some gloves, or just, use another backing board to use to, I guess, grip the page, I guess. Like so. See that little area there? Like, I don't know if you guys could tell, but right there is a lot of dirt. So I'm going to try to get this little area there. And I apologize, guys, if you guys are asking any questions in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and just focus on the page. I won't be able to read anything at the moment. So I don't know if you could tell, look, that whole area has been now cleaned up. You can't see any of the dirt or the residue. If you guys could share and follow, be great for the channel, the algorithm. So you want to just be conscious of the white areas, because you don't want to take any of the ink off the page. And if any of you guys are curious or wondering, I used to do this as a service for people or clients, but it got to a point where I just figured just do it for myself, for many reasons. But for the main reason that I never got around to doing my own comic books. I never got around to pressing and cleaning my own books, because I was always busy with other people. Thank God I had all the work. I'm not complaining about the work. I just didn't have enough time to do my own books. So I kind of at the moment, at least, I can't see myself ever providing comic my comic book pressing and cleaning as a service for people, because I just don't see doing it for others right now. I have too many books of my own to do, and quite frankly, the cost, the fee that I charge to do it, the amount of time that I put into pressing and cleaning a comic book, it's not cost effective for me. I'm charging too little for the time I'm putting, or the time I'm investing into actually doing the comic book pressing and cleaning. You won't see me doing any pressing today, right? Today I'm just doing the pressing process. I mean the the cleaning process. Easy for me to say. So you kind of go all around there. Be very conservative. Be very gentle. Don't get too zealous, or should I say overzealous. And always clean in the direction out towards the edges of the book, never in. Yeah, prior to me going live on the channel, I had already cleaned this a bit, so it's already coming a long way. Take your time. So if you're just getting onto the live stream, what I'm doing is what's considered comic book pressing and cleaning. This is the cleaning part, where I'm using an electric eraser and cleaning the page, the cover. This is actually the back page of Captain America 117. This is the actually the first appearance of the Falcon. Yeah, that's looking good. Looking very good. And just go along the perimeter of the book. See right here, you got to be careful. Yeah. Take your time. A little goes a long way. There you go. Now I'm using the backboard here, so I'm not smudging the page with my fingers, and it keeps it from moving around as well. Yeah. All right, this is looking good. Now I'll come with the brush here and kind of brush off all the residue. And then kind of scan the page, and it's looking good. See a little spot there that I could clean. Definitely don't use the electric eraser on any ink, any of the writing, any of the colors, like yellow, blue here, the red here. I wouldn't recommend using the electric eraser on those areas. Just use other forms of cleaning. Now, let's just say this is a little tight area here, and you're like, oh, I'm too close to color. I don't want to mess up the color. So you'll use one of these things right here. Little, I guess, what are they referred to as? I'm not 100% sure what they refer to, but what this allows for you to do is get in an area and protect the area that you don't want to go over. See that? So right there, the template or the ruler is covering the ink. So right now, then I can go in here and kind of go in there and not worry too much of erasing any of the inks. See that? And you could use the insides right here. If you want to get in an area, let's just use this as an example right here. Let's see. And then it kind of limits you to this little area so you don't get the surrounding color. Let's do a little here. And this little area here, I don't want to get under red, so I'm going to use that. See that? I don't know how well you guys can see, but I'm sure you get the gist of it. Or if you don't have one of those, you could use a backboard. You could use the edge of the backboard to kind of protect it. See? Because this, God forbid, will take that ink off as well as any color. So I'll come over here, and then this is good for the areas that have color and inks. So right here, this area here has a little area that I can kind of clean up a bit. Guys, I will say this. If you want to do this on your own books, take the time to learn the process. Take the time to work on books that don't have much of value, your quote unquote reader copies, because, part of the process of learning how to do this is unfortunately messing up some books that you initially work on. So you definitely want to learn the craft, practice on books that are not high dollar books, obviously. I would not automatically start doing this for people. Do it on your own books so that, the risk is less than, having to pay, someone sends you a $400 book, the fair market value of the book is say $400, just as an example, for lack of a better number. And God forbid, you damage their book. Now you're liable. All right. So now let's go ahead and move to the front of the page or the front of the book and clean the front a bit. That way you guys can see which book this is. It is Captain America 117, the first appearance of the Falcon. Lightly pass the needed eraser around the page where you think could benefit from a little cleaning. I'm going to use a little of the electric eraser right this spot right here. And get some of Captain America's shield here, at least the white areas. I guess. You can also use this kind of eraser here. It's a lot harder, but so you definitely want to take that into consideration. Just lightly, just go over areas. Very lightly, ever so lightly. Use the backboard here to kind of grip the page. There you go. Clean it up there. Very cool. All right, you can kind of see that it's a lighter here, and the areas that I haven't cleaned up is still kind of a little dirty. So this is definitely looking whiter than this area here, but I'm going to go ahead and work on this area here. With my cleaning, so it's always coming out of the book towards the edge. In this case, going towards the spine of the book. So don't be afraid about moving your book around. Okay, can we work? And for the actual name here, the fonts, I'm going to go ahead and use the kneaded eraser just to be on the safe side. Have a little more control of the strokes. All right, so this is looking good so far. See, you can see a little of the reflection, but you see how the whites look nice and white? Huh? See that? See that? Look Cap's shield, the white area of the looks just nice and white. Even the Falcon logo there is nice and white. But anyways, you want to be very conservative here with the pressure you're applying and the strokes, and always go towards the edge of the book. So you start right here, press a little bit, out, in, press a little bit, out. And you want to always do that because you don't want to tangle the edge of the book coming in. Here's the back of it, which I've already worked on, and I'm actually very pleased the way the back came out. I'm very, very happy with it. Nice and white, nice and clean. And kind of use this where the page won't be lifted and you have more control of the page. It's not being lifted while you're, cleaning it here. I think this is, I think we're done. Now, again, I've already pressed this book, but I want to go ahead and press it once or twice more just to get uh, the best results. But I mean, I'm very happy with, if I was just to sell it as is, I want to get a little bit, see, there's a little crease here that I want to work on. right here along the spine. You can barely see it, but and it's non-color. You know, it doesn't look like it's a little color breaking there on the spine, but I want to flatten it out even more. So I'll press and clean it twice, maybe once or twice more. You know, but I'm pretty much happy with this. I'm happy with this. So let me show you it again. This is the front. Let's get it centered. Here's the front and the back. Actually, the back looked worse than the front, and now that I've done cleaning it, the front I'd say looks better than the back looks better than the front now. Go figure, huh? Yeah, as far as the oh yeah, very happy with this. Thanks to God. I got this looking good. Thank you, thank you. Look how clean it looks now. My kids are on spring break. You might hear them in the background. Yeah, it's looking good. All right, so that's pretty much it. I figured, let me go on live and show you guys the process. I'm very meticulous, so I like keeping the area clean of any debris, putting everything in its spot where it belongs, the tools back where they go, so I don't have any unpleasant surprises. Brush off any debris from the book, the boards that you're using, because once it goes into the press, any debris on the page will show once you're pressing for obvious reasons. So you always keep your area clean. You keep the book, the page, the cover, keep it nice and clean. Just brush it off.